welcome back. This is segment 3 of Citizens Forum being filmed on Tuesday, September the 8th. Just before going into the segment, there's a group in town that I've heard about from a few different places. It's called VoteReady, and they're holding a series of meetings or workshops kind of about the fundamentals of democracy. Not so much about, more about kind of what is the political process in Canada. For example, discuss the concepts and relevance of the political left and the political right and of government and of freedom. So they're holding a series of meetings. The next one is Wednesday, September the 16th. It's going to be from, I think, 5:30 to 8:30 at the Central Library on Broughton. So once again, that's Wednesday, September the 16th. And the best way to get information is go to their website, VoteReady.ca. And once again, VoteReady.ca. So our guest in this segment is Mazin al-Nahawi. And Mazin is involved in a very interesting story. Can I say that you're a member of the Communist Party?
Sure, okay.
Yeah. And we're going to start by talking about what began as an all-candidates debate, but a debate in which the Communist Party member was not invited, who's running in, what's the riding?
Sooke-Saanich and Esquimalt.
Okay.
And actually it's very related to the first subject you talked about. It's happening actually in the same day, on the 16th of September. There will be a debate in Sooke, organized by 3 organizations, non-profit organization: Dogwood Initiative, BC Sustainable Energy Association, and the Transition Sooke. Also, the mayor of Sooke is going to be moderating the debate. But below the outside good idea about we having a debate, there is really a dangerous things going on there, threatening democracy when we have certain GNO try to dictate, censor, and decide what the people in the riding have to hear. So when the people in the riding put some candidate name on a ballot, they have the right to hear from them and to hear from everybody's name on the ballot. Nobody from the community give these organizations to be the guardian for the community about which view you need to hear. And but more a second important point, and from perspective as the Communist Party of Canada, the only party would bring an alternative, socialist alternative here. It's the Communist Party of Canada. We have 4 candidates. The major parties are, all of them are unable, or they cannot really function as a party to point out at the main cause or the elephant in the room, which is capitalism, its style of production, mass production, overfishing, cutting trees. I mean, we have many issues, all of that because the free market and the profit rush. So but none of these parties is going to tell you this is the root cause of the issue.
Only the Communist Party is going to be saying that.
Or at least present to you an alternative, not capitalist, socialist alternative.
Okay.
Socialist alternative, it's the most valid alternative in our view. But at least it needs to have a representation in these debate. And when a progressive NGO block that alternative view, so I don't see difference between them and mainstream media or even the conservative government. So do you want to compete with the government led by a regime, led by a conservative party who one of their tactics excluding the other from the process? How are you going to prove to me that you are better than that this party when you do exactly similar tactics here? We called them multiple times. We called BC SEA in Victoria, Tom Hackney. He is, I talked with him, he's from the chapter of Victoria. They did not budge. Nothing is going to be changed because of management and time.
Now, there's only three people invited to this debate right
Four,
now.
and three accepted.
The Conservative isn't coming.
Green, Liberal, and the NDP confirmed their participation.
Right, okay. So, I mean, there's the question, folks. So, there's a debate. It was first advertised as an all-candidates debate, and it was only because people phoned in and said, how can you have an all-candidates debate where all the candidates aren't invited? They changed it. Now it's called a candidates debate. But it's a good question that you're raising. Should these groups be
decide what we hear?
Deciding, especially when what you're saying is very true, that the three parties that are going to be represented are pretty much the same they live within the boundaries of corporate capitalism. Mm-hmm. The Communist Party is very much outside of that, mm-hmm. and has some very interesting things to say.
Mm-hmm. That Transition Sook and the Mayor of Sook, actually I got a very nice response from them. The moderator, the Mayor of Sook, she has no idea about this exclusion, and she said she's going to raise concern with the organizer. Today they are having a meeting, today is Tuesday, and also Jeff Bateman from Transition Sook, he's expressed also concern about that. But Dogwood Initiative, they never really try to even communicate about the issue. In spite of they are bombarding us with calls about donating money for them, but they completely ignore the issue and they never call us back. I had a chance also to talk in Labor Day with the candidate of the Green, Frances Littman, and I appreciate a lot what her stand.
Oh, and she's somebody who's going to be speaking at this debate.
Exactly,
right.
Because I think everybody participate in the debate. The moderator, the sponsor, the organizer, they are all, if they exclude party from that debate, they are all complicit, I think, in this process. And there is a problem here. Nobody should have a better advantage than other candidate. Especially like when we talk about the Green, they have experience with that. Elizabeth May, even recently, was excluded from the Global and Mail debate.
Yeah,
they have a long history with this.
In a week's time, yeah.
But again, they could talk about the Green or the NDP about taxing more the corporate, but they are not going corporation. But they are not going to tell you that capitalism is the root cause for this issue. This is a very valid point of view, and for have this group intentionally, not naively push it aside, no, intentionally, because we raise the issue to them and they insist to push it aside. So I wonder really what these NGOs are doing in this group. The other issue, actually, I had a chance also to talk with Randall Garrison, and I'm glad Walter in the first segment mentioned about what the NDP is doing of hashing up their candidate who's speaking.
Randall Garrison is the NDP candidate in, I'm not even sure the name of it.
Sooke-Saanich and Esquimalt,
okay.
And he is running again for that riding. Mr. Garrison completely denied the story, denied that the NDP purged their candidate because speaking up on behalf of Palestinian.
Okay, so the story that, is it 3 or 4 NDP?
4, and one of them actually is an indigenous
right, so 4 NDP candidates have been removed because they dared to say that, Israel is doing a lot of not good things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Mr. Garrison completely denied that. He said, no, nobody purged because of talking about Palestine. The candidate themselves express that in their Facebook and they talk about it, but Mr. Garrison, I felt he kind of scared to confront this reality. He want to just avoid it completely. It could maybe end up let him also get out of the campaign because
well, it's true that in this country you can't say that. The media will attack you, and if you're in politics, they'll try to destroy you.
So this is another example of these politicians. I don't know about an MB who would not really stand up to speak about human right issue, about war crime issue, because does not fit with its policy of its party, and they could purge him out.
I think a lot of our MPs would like to, but the way our political system has been so corrupted, there's things you can't do without threatening your career, and that's simply the way it is, and so everybody goes along. It's a disaster for democracy, but it works for the people who run the country. Can I just ask you, I mean, the fact that the Communist Party is being excluded from debates is one thing, but the Communist Party exists in Canada, yet we never ever hear about it, and you know, the word communism has been discredited so completely because of what happened in the Soviet Union, but you know, it's about community. That's the root, and that's why it's so hated by the corporations. The corporations hate community.
Actually, basically because coming from the term in common, to have things in common for the community. So of course that will be a reason to be hated. Yeah. And actually in some dictionary, communism equal to undemocratic. But simply I can summarize communism in two things: socialism and democracy, but from the point of view of the working class. Now, a lot of terms like the working class could be so harsh for people to get, but any person who depending on their power of labor to survive, this is a working class. And the Communist Party, it's the home for that class. We have many of these parties, so-called parties, but they are in reality just colors, and I believe, talk about middle class, but nobody talking about the lower class,
and
the
we
working
can't talk
class.
about it either because we're out of time.
We are out
Mazin
of time.
Nahawi, thank you very much. Thanks for watching this segment of Citizens Forum. And following this is going to be our second Skype interview put together by Ed Johnson. Thanks for watching Citizens Forum this week.